Hello friends, welcome to Code Crush Coding. In this video we are going to learn about loop in Python. So first loop that we want to cover is for loop. So why we required the for loop in any programming language? So consider a situation where you want some statements to be executed in your code multiple times. So in that case you can make use of these loops. So the loop in Python is used to iterate the statements or a part of the program several times. It is frequently used to traverse the data structures like list, tuple or dictionary. We will see in our demo how we can traverse the data using the for loop. So this is the sequence of for loop. So we will have for iterating variable in sequence. So here we need to declare a variable which will have a particular data of this sequence. So sequence can be anything: list, tuple, dictionary, string, and inside this for loop we will have the block of statements. So another feature here is for loop using the range function. So what is range function? The range function is used to generate the sequence of numbers. So this range function is used to generate some random numbers. So if we pass range and pass a value 5, it will generate numbers from 0 to 4. So we have provided here 5, but it is generating numbers from 0 to 4. So 0 to 4 the count is 5. So basically it is providing the count as 5, but the value whatever we have provided less than -1, that particular value. So this is the syntax for range. We need to provide the start, then we will provide stop, and then step size. So in this case we have provided only the stop value. So start value is optional. By default it is starting from 0, and step size by default is 1 because it is printing 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So let's see first the range function inside the for loop, and then we can see multiple codes to have the demo for loop. So this is our for loop.python file. So let's first see the range function here. So let's say I want to provide here for loop. So for keyword, then we will have some iterating variable. Let's say I provide here I. So for I in range, so you need to provide this range function, and let's say you have provided here 5 that we have seen in the PPT now. So for I in range 5, let's print I. So let's see what output we are getting in this case. So run for loop. So see, we are getting here for I in range 5. So this range is generating numbers 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So I is getting that value. So first time for I in range we are getting print I. So first time it will print 0, then 1, then 2, then 3 and then 4. So let's say we have provided a start also. Let's start from 1, end till 5. Now run this. So we should not get this 0 now. So it will start from 1 in this case. So see, it's starting from 1, then it is printing 2, 3, 4 and not printing 5 because the last value you have provided here is 5. And if we provide some step value, let's say 2. Now what was it doing earlier? It was incrementing the value from only 1, like 1 to 2, 2 to 3. Now it will increment the value by 2. So it will start from 1, then increment the value by 2, then it will directly print 3. Let's run this. See, it's starting from 1, then it's getting incremented by 2. So we are getting here 3. After that it will again increment by 2, but now the value will be 5. So we have provided here stop value as 5, then it will not print that 5. So this was the use of range function to create the random values here. Another thing what we can do here, so let's say we provide here some another value 10. So in this case it will print from 0 to 9. So see, it's printing till 9 and starting from 0 as we have not provided any start position. So default one is 0. So let's see another demo. So what was the use of for loop? To avoid the execution, like whenever we want multiple statements to be executed in our code. Let's say I want to print hi many times. So what I can do here, I will copy this statement then I will print this statement multiple times. Let's say I want to print hi 5 times, so I have printed it 5 times. If I run this, so see, we are getting here hi 5 times, but this is not the correct way to print the values like multiple times by executing them. Like we are duplicating these entries, right? So in effective way, what you can do, you can make use of the for loop. So let's say you can say for iterating variable I, you can provide any variable name whatever you want here, for I in range. What I wanted to do, I wanted to print the value of hi 5 times. So let's say I provide here 5, then it will say 0 1 2 3 and 4, so it will print 5 times. So I will say for I in range 5, print I, and then I want to print here hi. Let's save this and run now. Sorry, I printed here 1, I want to print here I. So see, now what we are getting here, we have only printed print now 1 time. Earlier what we were doing, we were printing hi 5 times, so the line of codes in the program were also larger. Now we have only these 2 lines of code, but still we are able to print hi 5 times. So this is the use of for loop, like it makes programming easy and readable. So we have starting here, we have provided here 5, so start position will be 0, so 0, then hi, then it will print 1 hi 2 hi. So in this way we have printed hi 5 times. So let's see another for loop here, what we can check now. Let's say you have one string, so let's say I provide here value of string, name of variable as name, and I will say code crush. This is the value of the string here. And now what I want to do, I want to print each letter or each character from this string. So how I can do this, I can make use of for loop, for I in name. So what, instead of range, now what I have done, I have used this name of variable which is name. So I in name, and I will print here print I. So let's run this, what output we are getting here. So see, I am getting here now each character, like first time the code will run now for I in code crush. So first time it will have only C, then it will print C. After that it will have O, D, E, and similarly C, R, U, S, H. So in this way you can make use of for loop to access a particular character from a string. Also what you can do here, another for loop we will check now. Let's say you have some list, name of list is my list, and you know we can declare list by the square brackets, and you have values here 10, 20, 30 and 40. And what you want to do now, you want to add these values, like the sum of list you want to get. So how you can do this, so you can basically, what you need to do, for each item you need to take and add to the other, like 10 plus 20 30, then 30 plus 30 60, and 60 plus 40 100. So in this way you want to check. So how you can do this, so what you can do, you can make use of for loop here. You can say here for I in, and you need to provide here now my list, so it will have a access to this list for I in my list. And what you need to do, you need to declare another variable here sum, which will have earlier 0 value. And now what we will do, we will add this sum, like sum equal to sum plus I, only this statement. And after that we will close this for loop and we will print here print sum of my list is, and then we will print sum. Let's run this code first, then I will explain you how it is printing. Let's see, we are getting our output as 100. So we have declared here my list which has value 10, 20, 30, 40. Then we have another variable sum which has initial value as 0. Now the for loop is getting started for I in my list. Now in the first time we have sum 0. So sum is 0 and we will add it to I. So what I will contain first time, it will contain this 10. So 10 plus 0 will be 10. So this sum will store now 10. Second time this I will have this 20 value, right? And now this sum has 10. 10 plus 20 is 30. So this will have 30. So in this way the sum is getting updated. Let me add more statements to understand you clearly now. I will say here print I, and then I will print here sum as well. Print sum. Let's save this and run. Let's add here another statement, print. Okay, let's save this. See, first time the I will be 10 and the sum will be 10 because 0 plus 10 will be 10. Second time I will have 20 value, this I will have 20, but earlier the sum was 10. So 10 plus 20 will be 30. So this time the sum has value 30. Next time the I will be 30 because the third value in list is 30. Earlier the sum was 30, so 30 plus this value of I will be 30, then it will be have 60 value. After that I will have 40 and this sum will have earlier 60 plus this 40, it will have 100. So the final value of sum was 100. So when we exit from this for loop and print sum, we have this value as 100. So this was the use of for loop to have this sum of values inside the list. Similarly, you can use it with the help of tuples and set also. Now let's remove this entire code now, and what we want to do now, we want to print a table, like a table of any value that user want. Let's say we have one variable number. So number, we will ask user to enter number to get table. Okay, so whatever value the user input, and we want this value to be of integer type, so we will restrict it to integer. So int, so this will accept one integer value. And what we want to do now, so we will have one variable. Okay, we can directly have one for loop here for iterating variable I in range. So we want the table till 10, like whatever value user, let's say user has input the value 2, so we want 2 1s are 2 and 2 10s are 20. So start from 1, range start from 1, go till 10. So we will provide here 11, right? So it will print till 10. So for I in range 11, and here we will have one variable, let's say result equal to, so we will get your number into I. So I'm writing here the statement, I will explain you, and then we will print here print number, then we will print your multiplication symbol, we will need to provide it in double quotes, then we will provide your I. After that we will provide your equal to symbol, and then we will provide your result. Let's run this code first. So enter number to get table. Let's say I've entered your 3. So see, we are getting a table of 3. See, 3 1s are 3, 3 2s are 6, 3 3s are 9s, 3 4s are 12 till 3 10s are 30. So how this code is behaving, let's understand this. So first thing, we are getting your message enter number to get table. So we are getting here the value of number as 3. After that, for I in range 1 to 11. So it's starting from 1. So value of I will be 1. So number has value as 3 and this has value as 1. So what we are printing here, 3 into 1, and then result is 3 into 1s are 3. So this first statement is executed now. After that again it will go to for loop, and then it will have the value now 2. So 2 and number is 3. So 3 into 2, and then we are printing here result as 6. So till 10 it will continue. After that I will have value as 11, but we have provided a stop position as 11, so it will not get inside the for loop because we have executed till the end position. If I provide here 12, then it will execute till 3 into 11 this value. After that 3 into 10 it will print one more value. Let's run this. So enter table, let's say 4. So see, we are getting a 4 into 11 also, because now we have provided 12 as the last value. So in this way you can make use of for loop. So the for loop will continue to execute the block of statement till it get false, because it was starting for 1, then it has executed this statement. Again it has done the same thing for 2, 3, 4 till 12, because for 12 it is getting false, then it is not executing this statement. So that was the use of for loop. We will see more features of for loop in next video. Thank you for watching.